I think we're live.
Yeah, we're live,
Yeah,
buddy.
we're live. All right. Hello, you two. I'm Charles Booker. This is my guest.
E Elite. E Elite. The Elite of Battle Angel. It is here. Or also known as yours truly, Edgar, the man who loves to get hated on the hateful truth. Anyway,
Yep.
let's get the shit started. And by the way, guys, I'm the one literally told him to do this because I think it's a good discussion, not just in comics, but also in movies now, because
Yeah.
I think it's a good discussion on talking about situations. Anyway, you go
Yeah.
first before I go literally chopping people's heads off. Anyway.
Yeah. For you don't know what we're talking about, backstory. There's no story on it because I made a video on a whole more than movie, but it's a lot more complicated than that because, as I said, this article came in from an article I found out there on CBR, which I'm gonna try to find that at the first sec. Hang on.
If you want the article, I can give it to you.
Yeah. Hang on. Found
okay.
it.
No. You found it? All right then.
Thank you, me, for actually pointing out that video I did.
I was gonna do a video on this myself, but I thought it would be best to just do that.
Yeah, here it is. Oh, these are on too much on the multiverse too much. Yep. The multiverse is a concept in the superhero comics, so that's where it's been most used. DC Marvel concept both employ the idea with tremendous success, especially when it comes to explaining where publication inconsistencies, why the characters don't age. Unfortunately, recent years have turned the multiverse into a creative crutch, and it especially
really
detrimental for certain properties. Yep. That's what they say.
Okay, let's stop right there and kind of go a little bit and break that shit down. Gee, okay, if it was a clutch, then they wouldn't be using it. And second off, you can only go so far as a writer on the terms of context of what you're doing in the established continuity. The problem is about comics is we used to do that because in a lot of ways it was literally a backbone for giving new, fresh ideas. Why would we have half the shit that we have today? Hell, why would we have multiple times the Spider-Girl always hinted in the Amazing Spider-Man comics? Oh, I know why. Maybe the Marvel M2 started first, and then later on they can work their way up down to the tippy top, and then eventually Marvel decides to say, screw it, why don't we have Peter and MJ back together, and then later on Peter and MJ getting a kid, and that girl is going to have Spider-Girl.
Spider-Girl, many part. What I've been saying for years, that we need that character.
Or granted, it could be a new. Granted, it could be Anna Parker, or could just be a flat-out new character. You can always you got to look at it that way. You got to look at it that circumstance. You get what I'm saying? Why does DC and Marvel want to do too much? Multiverse too much? Are you talking about in terms of the movie side? Now, the movie side, let's talk about that in the break. Let's break that down. Break it down. I always got to make a little bit of a joke on that. Okay. The problem is about the whole. Good morning to you too, man. The problem is, I don't see Marvel doing, or granted, DC is trying.
Yeah.
Granted, they were the suckers that did it a better job than Marvel on terms of multiverse when they were actually doing multiverse ideas and multiverse directions and Elseworld stories in so many fashions that I'm talking about both. Well, here's the thing. In comics, it gives fresh ideas. In movies, that's the next logical a step to go do, to bring introducing ideas, to introducing characters like the Sam Raimi Spider-Man, the Amazing Spider-Man, and maybe even possibly possibility the Fox X-Men movies. When you introduce some comics of the multiverse, you would give more better ideas because sometimes you can only stretch so far to such a degree that honestly you ran out of ideas. The whole Jane Foster storyline was a whole what if situation. And I'm sure there's other storylines that are just what ifs or outside of continuity. It made things better.
Not just Marvel and DC, right? Not just them. A lot of other probably doing multiverse stuff. Heck, look at the indie flick, everything everywhere all at once.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, you're right about it. Good point. I mean, like that, I didn't thought about that.
This movie was fantastic. This was my favorite movie that came out in 2022.
Oh yeah, that movie really kind of went some indie window fucking bullshit. And I'm like, holy shit, this is something I could see in the.
Oh.
Fucking sci-fi channel.
Yeah.
And I'm talking. God damn it! You hear me?
Yeah, I went to hell.
Anyway, Anyway, but yeah, I mean, I just go on what you were saying because I think I broke it down what I wanted to say. Just go on.
Yeah, because as I said, not the one to see the indie for ever wanted was a great movie, which I don't believe I will get that movie. I wasn't theater me, and that's the motivation stand out to me. People say this movie better than the Multiverse of Madness. I kind of agree it's better, but that's because the indie flag and the two didn't probably out together as a little concept.
You can't compare, and I'll say this: you can't compare an indie film over a blockbuster film. That's just not fucking fair. That's like comparing an average hamburger over a nice juicy steak salad. I mean, it's stupid. The problem is, I really kind of feel like is people lack of understanding the multiverse and not see the beauty aspect of what people could really say is it could be an easy scapegoat for them to solve their issues. Like Black Panther, because Black Panther, I'm going to say this, that new Black Panther coming, that's not a Black Panther movie. They have not not a single promotion of what is going on with T'Challa. And many people want a recasting. Many people want a recasting because they've been really just begging and begging and begging on it. Wait. It's laziness, and that's why. No, I don't agree with that because I don't think it's laziness. If it was laziness, then half the shit then what we have now is literally garbage.
Anyway, let's the article. Marvel is constantly putting out books with characters based alternate universe on themselves, namely one who resembles other heroes. This feels like inspired during the unique movie and the heroes themselves. Even DC can help but lower the stage with these type of stories, many of which are missing the fundamental element that makes superhero poverty so popular. Yep. The idea of the multiverse has so much potential, but seeing the big two are in arms race, that's what they say. I put the arms race at the end. It makes sense.
Go on, man.
But seeing that the big two are in a race to see who can squander it the fastest. Yep. More several current series for the multiverse variants. Oh yeah!
Oh, that whole storyline. A storyline that, in a lot of ways, was actually pretty decent for Miles. It's just the problem is, when it comes to Miles, it's a whole different subject with that character.
Why? I read the other books. All of them are not great. They're all stupid.
You couldn't tell me. No. You couldn't tell me the Wolverine one was actually pretty bad. No, that Wolverine story.
Fine.
The Wolverine story was great. You couldn't tell me the creative ideas, the direction, the elements where they were going. The X-Men identity was there. The Hulk elements was there. You couldn't tell. I will fight for the death on Miles Morales as Captain America. Who thought
I didn't see that one.
That was genius. That was genius. Amazingness. Great.
But the Hulk one was just generic and stupid, and the forum was
the Hulk one was basically what was going on in the Hulk comics. If you didn't see, granted, you haven't read that stuff because that stuff goes in far deep. But I mean, the problem is for me, and it's the biggest issue is there's lack of multiverses. Remember Ultimate Universe? Remember when it started? People loved the shit out of it because it was a jumping on point to what people like. We need that the most about comics today. Mm-hmm. That is the most easiest to help on building a multiverse or introducing Spider-Girl, introducing those characters, introducing Spider-Man 2099, introducing so many elements of X, Y, and Z. You had so much stuff going in that made for people like me and you literally just clamoring for more. And when
you only got blown up.
Yeah. Well, not blown up, fucking ruined because some dumbass fucking just absolutely just don't know jack shit about Ultimate Comics, and he's the man, the one that given us and taken away from us on Earth's Mightiest Heroes. So, so honestly, I really feel like the better we need more multiverses, the more solving our issues on comic books. You know, Marvel and DC have a bit of a pickle issue. They have an issue to where, in terms of comic side, they have where you have so much shit lore and people not really a big fan of it, or straight out love the shit out of it, or straight out just hating it with a bloody passion. And that's why I love the what if story of Miles Morales and the whole Gwen verse, is because it was a fresh, it was something new, it was something refreshing, and we rarely get that. Ever since Secret Wars ended, and I'm talking about the 2015 Secret Wars, which is more likely that is going to be the case where that storyline is going to be heavily based on what is going to be in the movie side.
You could try it on MC2. Hi, MC2, you met in 2009. Right, I know you.
Yeah, I saw that.
That's pretty cool. Hey, did Future Past.
Yeah, that's true. They did that. They did the whole mentioning of Future Past and all that crap. But I mean, like, cool. I
didn't read the Gwenverse issue 3 because I just didn't.
You dropped out. Like I need to catch up to it. I actually really liked it. I actually found it more interesting. And the same goes with the whole Miss Marvel. We need the multiverse a lot of times because a lot of times it would solve all of our issues. Now, when it comes to movie side, I don't see how it's a bad thing because you can get a lot of great fan service, not forced, but also just a good direction half the time, because you can make it where, we'll make that bad movie into a good movie. You had Spider-Man No Way Home to be making where Spider-Man 3 and Amazing Spider-Man 2 look good because they all go full circle with Spider-Man Homecoming, and it feels natural, and people actually are interested on having a continuation from the previous Spider-Man, and it's like I don't get what's the bad thing about it. And the Multiverse of Madness really kind of explore that even further. So I and also What If as well. So I just don't see how it's a bad thing. I really
don't get it. I even did more to the article. So what to cut the chase? Marvel Comics probably not one, but 3 different series feature low along Marvel Hill remake the other killer. The book called What If My Mirage, which that book and so no one can demand that book anymore. Spider-Gwen, Gwenverse, which Convented Gwenverse, I think is gonna mess with whatever. If you like that book, that's great. I just don't care. And the Billions. With the writer which saw Jessica Jones in the first book, Martin making a particular world version of Hulk for Captain America and Wolverine. All while in the main book, My Spider-Man, see them in an alternate universe finding the evil clone, alongside Billion Peter Parker. This will be redundant enough, but being joined by 2 versions retired makes it even worse. That's what they say. Okay, Billions. Billions? I like the first year about that. It was fine. Granted, it's weird to have it of Jessica Jones, Captain America. That's confusing. But
yet again, I'm like, this guy just sounds like a fucking idiot, dumb fuck who clearly just doesn't understand what makes the multiverse so goddamn special, and how can you not approve it, because half the shit that's literally some of the best comic books is literally half the multiverse. Ultimate Spider-Man, the Ultimates, Ultimate X-Men, the Spider-Girl comics. Spider-Man 20. It's like half the shit. Half the shit that people really like is some outside of the main 616 continuity. Renew your
But the
vows.
2099.
Yeah, 2099. Exactly, too. It's like,
Yep.
renew your vows. 2099. Iron Man 2020.
Yep.
I mean, just like a lot of it's like really good. So this guy is literally missing the good shit about what makes it great. Now, the movie side. Let's get into the movie side. I don't see how is it a bad thing. Yes, I'll agree. Could it be laziness? Could it be where they just add into it just because they want to approve the another actor, just because they don't want to reboot their continuity after Secret Wars? Of course they're going to do that, maybe.
Yeah.
Because they want to do like the Star Wars direction. You know, the reboots and the rehash of the same old situation, it's just, definitely. I agree. They definitely need to reboot the alternate universe, but yet again, it's more like
they need to come back to board continuity. Yeah, when they should have went open universe. Can't wait for 19 more. I agree. I can't wait for the cartoon. Hope it's in my movie.
Yeah, me too. I'm excited. I'm actually going to review the first three episodes of X-Men. So I mean, like, I hope everyone can understand what we're saying, and I'm like. I'm probably gonna do a solo video on top of this, but I mean, like, but it's just, yeah, man.
Anyway, we probably cut this shit on this because all gonna take way too long. We come on this.
No, I think we said everything we wanted.
Well, that's the Marvel side of things. We like the DC stuff. What he said about DC. We're just that's how the villain stuff with the Perlman and Jessica Jones stuff. That might have been in point. Yeah, that's another topic another day. It's sending over a reductive British cartoon plot. So it could have been stronger than myself that the time is only becoming one his gimmick. Look at the DC. DC guys should know better than to overuse the multiverse. Yep. DC should want to motivate a bit more nuanced than Marvel. That's what he said. Which makes it hiccups all the more grown in DC. For instance,
time out.
Justice, which was all
time out. Stop for a minute. Weren't they best known to do multiverses? Wasn't Power Girl well known to be a Marvel? Not Marvel. What the fuck I'm saying? Marvel. DC character. I'm so sorry. A DC character that was heavily based on another continuity, and everyone adored her. And then eventually we did other Elseworld stories, and that's mainly why they're doing that, and that's probably why they're best at doing that shit. But when it comes to what they're doing shit like now, like that whole concept picture that looks like a pretty good, decent team.
It's Team Justice.
Yeah, it's a Team Justice that in actuality is a lot better than half the fucking shit on the both Teen Titans and Brian Michael Bendis' fucking garbage Teen Titans book that was barely doing anything, and Brian Michael Bendis
book, not Titans.
Yeah, and Brian Michael Bendis didn't really care too much about it.
Yeah,
because he didn't care. I agree with you saying they need to continue the next Avengers. Hell, I agree. I
agree.
I completely don't understand why the fuck they did not do a comic book series off of them. They mentioned them in the comics. I mean, like, that was the only time they mentioned them, and I'm like, why didn't you not mention that?
I am shocked we now get continuation of this story. Because, come on, like, this movie was kind of fun. Yeah, they had a dark turn with Ultron destroyed the entire universe. Well, destroyed the entire
It was a good story. It told an interesting direction, and I was even like wondering, are they going to even add to the comics? I mean, like,
for your daughter, and force it
exactly too. And so I'm
like, I wonder who for hooked up in order to get the daughter. Maybe Jane Foster.
It's more like either Lady Sith or Jane Foster. It could be either one. I mean. But it's just like they shown these characters in the comics, and it's like,
I know they paint in the comics.
Yeah, they did. They show Brian Michael Bendis' Avengers comics, but yet again, they barely did anything with them. So I'm literally like saying, why the fuck did they not continue with this
Good
group?
question.
It could have been a million times better job. So I kind of feel like this is a bit of a stupid article that made no sense whatsoever because it's just you're
Yeah.
really missing the point.
Yeah.
Go on reading.
Yeah. Yeah. Given what's the what was I? Oh yeah, wait. It is. Friends of the current Gotten Joe featuring all the invasion and just created. Given the general climate in comics having too many mantles carried floating around without the real characters having room to
Oh,
breathe,
great! Here we
this
go
is
with
still
that
a
shit.
questionable idea in general. Adding the fact that the team's story apparently involved Earth ones and obvious that they exist merely for more multiverse shenanigans. Okay? I
Okay,
don't get
first
that
of all,
logic.
okay. This is let me go in that, and I think we're. Oh my god. Okay, the fact he's saying too many people are wearing mantles, I'm like, what's the problem with that?
Mm.
What's the problem with that? Seriously, what is the problem of mantles? The fact that it's getting too much common now? Gee, people have been begging for legacy characters like Spider Girl, Spider Man 29, Miles Morales as Spider
Wally?
Man,
Wally's been my friend for a
Wally,
decade.
that character again. Like so many characters that are great, and yet you're telling us we should cut our losses with that shit?
I don't get that
I'm
logic.
just saying. Yeah,
Yeah.
anyway, go on.
Even
If you want to stop, you can just end the video. But it's just
well, I want to finish at this point.
yeah, go on.
Yeah. Even hardcore comic fans have come to promote a casual mantle they're giving away. How variants of others more popular heroes are seemingly created every other week. This only dilutes a brand and character, despite that property hasn't been thoroughly defined in a while. DC's former Elseworld title, for instance, worked well because they played off of established and expected status quo and heroes. With that gone, the villains aren't an exciting concept at all. Even DC at one point realized that the motor was a bad idea. The iconic Crisis on Infinite Earths, which is a great storyline from the 80s, was once used to get rid of the confusion and endless multiverse. And it might be bad if something happened again, if only to keep fans from seeing double and triple. A more negotiable idea would be to have an editorial moratorium. I don't know what that means. Whatever. On the multiverse and story involving a constant wave of alternate universe counterparts. Such was the rule at DC after Crisis, with the House the Earth 2 built outright rejecting these sort of stories. That is likely why concepts such as hypertime, which go back to a sense that we integrate the multiverse, failed to gain traction. While playing the multiverse for as long as it did may have been a bridge too far for DC at the time, something to that effect is definitely required at the moment for the big two. And that's an organ show. That's an organ in the show.
No, yeah, I think we got. I think we just literally lost our brain cells half the time reading
Yeah.
that article. Um, there are so many issues reading that article. Like, okay, first of all, let's just dive into more of that whole thing. The getting rid of the multiverse was a easy scapegoat and to correct their bullshit problems.
Yeah.
Because half the time back then you had the Justice League and a few other characters that was outside of the main DC universe. Now you have a completely different ball game. You have where just you have one big continuity, but you have other continuities and intertwining it all in a nice big bubble. So I don't get the logic what this guy literally saying. I don't get because I'm like, so you're telling me you're throwing all this stuff into the bus because it's an easy scapegoat. When in reality, it could easily solve their issues on appealing to different crowds and not ruining certain characters and not destroying people's enjoyment factor, like with yours truly, John Kent. You didn't like the whole gay aspect.
I'm still picking an 8 of my book of crap. Why?
Exactly, Tevya. You're getting more of my point. If they have where more multiverses, like for example, Marvel's doing a gay Spider-Man, which I always
Yeah, that.
I was laughing. I'm like, what if they do a gay Spider-Man, or what if Spider-Man went gay?
Yeah.
Oh man, that would be hilarious. But at the same time, lo and behold, it actually happened, and I'm thinking, well, it's not the main Spider-Man, so really, who gives a fuck? And also another thing, the reason why I love about the Miles Morales stuff and the Gwen Stacy stuff and half the shit on the old.
We did a fun story.
Oh, I heard some good shit. I've seen some.
It's ton of fun. It's pretty okay, not crazy, it's more with dinosaurs, but
it looks fun. I'll just say this. It looked like a very fun book. But
try the source.
I mean, like, but it comes to movie side, we barely scratched the surface.
I find that Spider-Man.
Oh yeah, there he is. There's that gay Spider-Man. I mean, I mean, for me, I'm just like, I'm not that into it. I don't think it's gonna be bad. I don't think it's gonna.
I made my own video about it, and I said before, who gives a damn? Like I said before, this character, who cares? I give it a gay Spider-Man. When? But it's not the main.
It's literally you're having everyone have their own identity.
Yeah.
Instead of ruining a character like John Kent to where, we only did it just because, and this is the whole thing when I was literally bashing John Kent, they only did it just to spite the fact that, we want to prove more readers. That's why. They were never really, like John Kent was a character, like I always say, John Kent was a very poorly executed character, but when you see why they're doing it, it's just they're trying to get people in. They're trying to have people reading their books. And if you do all that stuff, you ruin what makes that character so special. And honestly, like if you change, like for example, Miss Marvel, the changes between Miss Marvel is
Jurassic League, best con 22. I agree. I'm Gonzalez. Jurassic League is the best con 22. Next to Last Ronin, we all the great comic.
One of the best. I'll say it could be one of. I haven't read it yet, but it's probably one of the best books of this year. Yeah,
it is.
I'll probably.
Speaking of Miss Marvel, well,
yeah.
See, they all come Miss Marvel. Well, like, maybe I might go become me in the comics too.
Well, when's that coming? That's all I'm gonna say.
Well, it's not coming. It is an opinion piece, like the other one, but they do rubbing out the human stuff. With this, they didn't talk about comics. They said, "Quote: It's no secret that the big push in Human 2010 was ultimately a massive failure." Gee, no shit. The character moved on to
before we go any further with that, let's just go in the factor of they wanted to bury the X-Men as hard as they can.
They do actually talk about.
Never mind. Then I actually take that back. Yep. Let's go. Continue.
Yep. No shade, big win in Human 2010 will be a matter of failure. Character moved into more prominent role that they even occupied before. Fan interpreted it as an attempt to push the X-Men and mutants out of their place of live-action ABC TV show. Wait, what? Yeah, sorry, my bad. X-Men mutant out of prominence. Yeah, put the X-Men mutant out of place of prominence. They responded with disinterest at best and outright hostility at worst. 2017 live-action ABC TV show cemented the original failure of the Humans. While the comics stuck with the Humans a bit longer, it was clear that the MCU had lost their taste for trying to make Black Widow and code the new second friends. I agree 100%. Eventually, around the time, Disney bought Fox. Yep. And got the X-Men.
I wish they deserved it, every bit of it, because they're the fucking bastards that killed Alien, killed Predator, practically killed the X-Men, killed Fantastic Four, not once, but 4 damn times. It's just like, holy shit.
Yep. Yeah. Oh, they had to kill probably as well in the
I'm just like, Fox was a terrible. I would rather deal with the devil himself. I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry interrupting, but I would rather deal with the Disney devil themselves than deal with fucking Fox the next 20 more years of X-Men movies. Anyway, go on. Go on, your side.
There we go. Eventually, right around the time Disney bought Fox, after X-Men film went back, using load once more, or the humans will quietly strip back into a drawer labeled poverty.
I lost.
Shit. Alright, sorry. Video speed this up. Using load once more, or the human will quickly strip back into a drawer. The only exception to this rule was Ms. Marvel, who really ran with the humans typically even at the brand's height. At the moment, the humans of the brand are borderline toxic, but those who lack interest in them beforehand now hating them for when Marvel shoved them down with his throats. Which come out all the way at best, who shared solely with the humans, simply eliminating the connection and becoming a mutant would be an easy beneficial move. Yep. Probably actually only help.
Oh yeah, Marvel. Absolutely. Oh yeah, absolutely. I agree with that statement every fucking way. The fact that she was literally the icing on the cake, and no one wants to literally accept the fact. They want to literally justify on Marvel Entertainment because they would rather just accept her as a character, a part of a boring brand that literally did nothing in the comics. Nothing. It went nowhere. And yet people like, oh, I like Inhumans. Like, yet when you have the X-Men, no, actually take that back. Avengers video game literally be nothing more than a cardboard copy of
the X-Men plot
they were trying to do in the current direction on the Marvel video games. And it was just a hardcore X-Men plot. Just replace Kitty Pryde with Miss Marvel or Jubilee, and just replace the X-Men over the Avengers and change the name of the mutants into Inhumans. It's literally the same fucking plot. And no one wants to literally say that a lot. And yet again, I'm like, it's like I see people get angry. Oh, they went Black Bolt. They treat him dirty. I'm like, did you not fuck? Are we pretending the
Inhuman show didn't happen?
He got a fatality on a mutant. For crying out loud. Yeah. Anyway,
speaking of Fox, they also love it though Scarlet and Quicksilver nonsense. Think of when Scarlet and Quicksilver no one many children again because 2070 Fox's issue.
Oh god.
Yep. Yeah. Mario please had to tweak away the like here with the MCU better.
Fuck that bitch.
That boy had the accurate. Anyway, but Betty, the point in general of all this madness, they had to go way more to the topic, but we had to be in most of it because. Well, it's actually kind of relevant. We're going on right now. We go to the movies that kind of, sort of.
Going out of.
Oh. So I have a bit. Oh, you're back. Yeah.
Shit, fucking hell! I lost you.
Damn it.
Anyway.
Permanently. Good luck with that, I think because I don't really know what happened.
Killing some of these characters personally. Disney made everything worse.
Disney buys Fox. Yep.
When they bought them, are you talking about Disney bought Fox? Dude, they got their own asses literally on the blame. I mean, like they really just they put themselves on that fucking bullshit issue. Anyway.
Nice.
I tried.
So, I hope I pick a Marvel DC movie where Peter doing movie with fun. Oh, that sounds fun.
That sounds perfect. That sounds great.
Yeah.
I mean, is a mutant? Yeah. I mean, which honestly makes a whole lot of sense because we're trying to build the mutants back up to where it should have been. And should have always stayed. Because let's all face facts. Fox and Marvel Entertainment bury the X-Men franchise.
They did.
And not just
It went into House of Power 10 brought the X-Men back to relevancy, but even they said, quote, the Krakoan, despite indicated the Krakoan era and House of X. Mutants find being on the precipice of the more units again, given that this increased popularity and relevant time come on the X-Men by making a mutant will likely increase her in sales. Yep. Set sailed on great currently, especially for character that only one of its rare new characters break through at Marvel. Instead, the first issue debut was sold with 50,000 plus copies. Black Grand 2020, one of the last normal month track comics sold, well before the COVID pandemic happened. Her rebooting mechanism in Marvel was barely selling in the teens, with the 11th issue. Keep in mind that the original TV show would do the Lord's view. Oh, fuck. That sucks. Damn it. Spring of the Bubble, Black Knight trying to be on the 4-card page. It also the series featured prominently in Square Avengers video game. Second series is underperforming compared to expectations. That can't almost prom did this her. I think people forgot about that part.
Wait, what? Wait, I'm a little lost on what they were trying to say. Like, you tell me, like, she's the reason why the Avengers game didn't sell that well?
Well, that's what they say, but I think there's more comedy than that.
I think it's more to it than just that. It's because of it's a live service.
Live service game.
It's a multiplayer game that honestly has been done to death, buddy. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna ask you this question. We just have a comment that say, yeah, the multiverse has been done to death in Marvel and DC. It's time to get something new.
They will cross over. Actually, here's the thing. A Call of New DC with genius. Make that happen. Yep.
Well, here's the thing about that. We haven't had a continuity. I'll just say this. I mean, like, the biggest thing is with Marvel and DC, we barely get multiverse stuff now. We're stuck with this bullshit continuity sometimes that a lot of times sucks.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, sometimes, half the shit literally is what the multiverse brings. We wouldn't have Spider-Girl. We wouldn't have Power Girl. We wouldn't have Spider-Man 2099 or Iron Man 2020. We wouldn't have the Jane Foster storyline in the What If book. Yep. We wouldn't have the Ultimate Universe, or half the Marvel M2 books, or half the shit that DC has done in the Elseworld stories. It all works because it helps make the brand and the characters more interesting, more dynamic. You couldn't tell me that the Ultimate takes on half the characters did not bring people's interest. It fixed a lot of their issues between Marvel's problems because you guys complain about all the relaunches. Well, if we had the Ultimates, the Ultimates universe come back, we wouldn't have this issue. We would have people buying and flying all that shit. The biggest problem now is it's just people just don't really care.
They got to motivate. DC also the Avengers called the Retaliators.
Oh, Daffy Duck wants to say something.
Okay.
What's Daffy Duck wants to say? What do you want to say, buddy? I have something to tie into this.
You
if you're interested, go ahead and shoot. Shoot. Or you want to jump into the stream because we might just end it after this.
Yeah. If you want to join, you can. I can put the link in the.
I can't join. I have.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Well.
Okay. Well, just type in the comments.
Just type in the comments. Anyway.
Yeah.
Also,
but anyway, the point in general, I'll just comment in general. The Marvel DC, yeah. Think about how much story you time travel motivated 90 days. John Gate 4, X-Men, Rolling Cable, Spider-Man, Cosmic Ghost Rider. Lots of stories you need now. You're not entirely wrong about that, but John Gate 4 and Hulk.
No, I'm sorry, you haven't seen Hulk. You haven't seen Thor turn into a Hulk in the movies. Yeah. I'm sorry. You unless we see that, in a Hulk movie, like say World War Hulk, which has been heavily rumored lately.
I was saying comics. Yep.
What's up? What's up? And we're just about ending this whole thing.
Yeah.
But it's just like some of it, yes, it has been used. Some of it hasn't. I can tell you that for a fact. But the biggest problem is we're missing a gold mine in multiverses. And I feel like it's more needed now in both comics and movies. Movies, it's literally the next logical step. With comics, it's so desperately is in need to bring bring the outside of continuity because it gives more freedom to a lot of things. And last,
I went down with do more continuity at DC. I went down with good dude more with super powered than Marvel. Good question.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But anyway, I think we're done now. I mean,
you should have me saying more. All right, I'll check it out. I'll check it TV and I'll check it out.
All right. Thank you, Tevye, for making this whole live service. I'm sorry we had technical difficulties, but yeah, I think people need to be open minded. Be open minded with this. What about you? What about you on this whole factor?
By the way, I need more of a ton the same way they can use shotgun, character, and do great idea. That would normally have it done do them all. Yep. That was kind of accurate, but that's not topic another day. But I thought this idea as a whole. I think more DC, yes, they do want more in the comics, but in that Marvel said they barely use the multiverse. They only use the multiverse only with 3 books. But then one book ended. The other book, I think, is about to end real soon. They only just started. So, out of all those 3, I don't know. At the Marvel side of things, besides that kind of Spider book coming out, we'll say that turns out in the future. I don't know.
We need, like, I'll say this. We need, like, if Marvel ever wants to reboot their Ultimate Universe, and I mean a hardcore reboot, we're going to start from scratch and work our way up to where we at. And then
I'm cool with when Tondo if done right. Probably done too much.
That's the thing. It's an easy scapegoat on time travel. Yeah. But yet again, it's like that's the principal factor of storytelling on time travel. Doctor Who does that all the time. And I mean, there's half the shit that I literally say, is that even canon now on half the shit they've done? Because, I mean, we're super expanding on the multiverse. But the difference with Dragon Ball Super is...
Dragon Ball has been doing time travel for years.
No. They haven't done time travel as much. They only done...
Yeah, they barely do time travel. They
only do twice. They only did it twice. And that's not saying if you're talking... That's only saying let's do the Trunks stuff. But if you're talking about the multiverse, we barely scratched the surface on that. So
we barely started that.
Sound like you're all about the talking about Marvel and animation. Oh yeah. What about?
We gotta talk about that. Nadia wanted to do a video about to do that.
But what's going on with the Marvel animation department? I mean, someone brought it up.
It's for DCC, San Diego Comic-Con. Yep.
Yeah, I know that, but it's like anything else? Is there anything surprising?
Not yet.
Again?
Oh, time travel, we can time travel quite different multiverse. Time travel in multiverse are kind of different concepts, but it's complicated. Time travel. I put Open Marvel should return. We need you to come back. Like I said before, my right belongs to this universe, and
I think we do. I think we do. But I feel like we need to look at what made the universe so special and correct it and do what the Spider-Man PS4 did. Introduce Miles Morales, have him still be Spider-Man later on, and then you go forward with just have 2 Spider-Mans. It's literally would be the same thing what we're doing now in the comics, but it would just be done better, properly, not just
also bring the open Jessica Drew. Bring her back. I love a kid.
Oh, that too. We need to bring some of the shit back, but it's just like we need to do it.
Oh yeah, Ironheart. She was in Open Marvel and Bendis did Spider-Man 2.
Yeah, she was just only out of there just because she was only out of there. But anyway, I think we said everything.
Yeah, I think we said everything. That might look good at back, but that's not going to suck. The same with the creative set.
No,
Yeah.
because I'll say this. The reason why I say no is because you don't have that fat fucking Jeff Loeb
That's real
literally
involved.
running
No,
the
it'll be
animation
fine.
department. Because the last great Marvel cartoon was Earth's Mightiest Heroes. So,
Indeed.
in a lot of ways, if Marvel Studios is taking over and they're going to do their own shows, which What If proved that,
Yeah.
we're in good hands. We're in good hands.
Yeah.
Trust Marvel Studios. Despite the changes, despite the watered down villains, it's best to trust them than the idiot clowns of Marvel Entertainment. Because
Yeah.
if you're saying X-Men 97 was trash, then fine. You can go suck all the garbage shit that Marvel Entertainment produced. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah. Well, I may have done the first day open Spider-Man event. Yeah, that is true. But honestly, we're not going to talk about that. That's not the video another day. I thought I just conversation here because I thought the topic of this video kind of already planned. Uh, Japan has done a better job making more animation movies than America. Germany, X-Men, Wolverine. The Wolverine was
50-50 on that one. If you're talking about X-Men and I'll say it's 50-50 on that one. If you're talking about the X-Men and the Blade stuff, okay, yeah. But Wolverine and Iron Man,
yeah, did the Avengers.
Yeah. Oh, that's completely different. That's not. We're not talking about that. That show is literally like doing its own thing. Like we're talking about, where they're doing the characters, not a card game, not this, not that bullshit Yu-Gi-Oh crap mixed with Marvel characters.
Well, not that one. They actually did another one at the premiere a long time ago. Which hang on, I'll show you.
Oh yeah, I'll say this: Wolverine and X-Men were great.
Hey, that was good. And
I haven't seen the Wolverine animation. Some parts of it look great. Oh, I'm sure it looks great.
I mentioned that. Yep. Yeah.
That's Yu-Gi-Oh type shit. I see a couple episodes.
It didn't need that. You don't have a continuity. It neither was cards and that stuff.
No. If you actually watch an episode or two, you actually see like, holy shit, this is fucking Yu-Gi-Oh crap.
Yeah, I saw it, but I think you're going to this voice.
Yeah.
Wait, hang on. Yeah, you're going to this one.
Really? I thought they were one and the same.
No, this one I think is different. This one, I think it's more the card stuff.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I mean, okay, whatever. All right, doesn't matter anyway. Who gives a shit?
This one actually is a lot more different. It's not the card stuff at all. It's its own separate thing.
Okay, whatever. All right, whatever. Okay, I'll look into that just to make sure.
I think it's on Disney Plus. You can probably check it out.
I'll definitely do that when I get Disney Plus. Oh yeah, DC. Yes. Oh God, DC has done a better job than what.
Yeah, I do have great animation. I had some over time. I love animation, even with the recent movie. Granted, the Green animation was controversial.
They didn't include X-Men, Fantastic Four. Of course they didn't, because they. It's all about the Fox bullshit.
Yeah,
and Marvel Entertainment.
It's more anime. Yeah, it is. It's Iron Man Techno War, I think. I forget the name. Well,
they did. Yeah, that's Techno War. Great movie. Recommended. Yeah. If you want to watch an Iron Man movie, it's a really great movie.
I think they made two of them. If I remember saying well.
No. They made an animated They made an animated series, and they did a movie, and that's really Iron Man Techno Wars was a really good movie. I mean, I watched it twice, and I owned it on DVD. It's a really good. Yeah, it's a really good animated movie. They even did a spin-off movie of Black Widow and Punisher, which actually was pretty damn fucking good.
I watched that. It was interesting.
Where's the serial side? Unfortunately.
Wait, a TV series?
Yeah, that's a TV series. Yeah, it was a mediocre series, which they talked about the Zodiac, and they didn't even include the Mandarin in the fucking series. Would have been much better if they had the Mandarin there.
No, the Mandarin in this show.
Oh God, yes. Oh, and people actually are fans of that show, which I'm like, how can you like that garbage show? How can you like that show that's literally nothing more than a cardboard copy of Spider-Man, but
Yeah, it
just
is.
replaced it with Iron Man stuff? And it's just so insulting. But whatever. I mean,
Yeah,
they did
whatever.
their people like it. It's what it is. What it is.
Yep, indeed. Speaking of Paul Dini, he did work in the audience on Open Spider-Man, and even when he tried to make that show good, it
He
didn't
couldn't
really
save
work.
it. He couldn't save it.
He
There's
couldn't do
just
it.
no way in hell saving that show. The
He knew
problem
that both
is
between unorganized that they had mapped out one more world they're using with the 1 out of 2 outfits, and that shows in the comics. Yep. We still don't know what more injustice to see NDT Batman set on. I call them more Elseworld stories. I don't put them like that on the edge.
they're Elseworld stories.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with the Dark Knight. The Dark Knight Rises.
Yep.
The Michael Keaton Batman stuff.
Yeah.
And which I was laughing my ass off when he did John Kent.
Yeah.
And you're saying, "Oh God, it's terrible, it's boring," and I'm like, "Oh, we're talking about it's fucking great." Oh man. But anyway, yeah, Just League and Just League Unlimited was fantastic.
I agree. They're fantastic.
Anyway,
As I said before, the motivates are not bad concept. The problem is execution. And well,
it's execution.
We don't know what the future is between both sides and comics wise. But as far as that concerned, we'll see. Marvel themselves, yeah, they need to motivate, but they use Marvel only with 3 characters: Spider-Man and
the What If shows.
What If show, and that's it.
Doctor Strange.
I forget what the first one is. I was going to Avengers.
Oh
yeah, Avengers. I forgot Avengers doing multiverse stuff right now. I forgot about that. With the Mephisto stuff.
Oh yeah, that's true.
That's doing multiverse stuff, but to be fair, they've been building that already ever since the first one, I think. I forget.
Oh, you're talking about comics there right now.
Justice Man see on part of 50 multiverse DC. Yep, that's true.
There. Yeah. Anyway, I think we need time.
Yeah, Avengers forever. All right. That's the multiverse stuff.
That was an okay whole miniseries. Kind of find it like whatever. It was great to see War Machine and Captain Carter. That's all I'm gonna say.
I know the part is. Huh. Interesting.
Anyway. I think we're done now. I think
I'll probably wrap this up in that show.
All right. Well, I'll just say this before we go any further. If Marvel Studios drops anything with the Marvel Entertainment stuff on, let's say they're going to do a Spider-Man animated series and bringing back the original voice actors who did them, which I swear to God that needs to happen, or Spider-Man needs to appear in one of the X-Men 90s episodes. I swear it needs to happen because that would have been like even more fan service, even further, but also gives a little bit more continuity on anything. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, technically, we are getting at the Spider-Man anime series, but it's called Freshman Year.
Oh yeah, that's true. But they're gonna have to reveal what that whole thing's all about because that's gonna be Peter's origin. They need to introduce Uncle Ben in that show. They need to do it. They need to introduce Uncle Ben in that show. In that show. Are you still just grudging? Like, why does it have to be me?
Yeah, why? Like, fuck, that's too much. Should not be great. Why? Like, I said, folks, did I die? Like, why can we have it exist? Hang on.
Oh God, here we go, guys. Here we go. Him and his fucking rant. Him and that little project.
Why do we have this? This is amazing. Like, why? It's not fair. I always said this cartoon should come to light. We're meeting, not that.
Like to be fair, I mean it does look like a good, decent animation style, and I wouldn't mind it because I mean we've been clamoring for a good Superman cartoon, and we haven't got shit. So it would be a blessing in disguise at the same time. Yeah.
I finally do anyone know I said it's going to be a Time Master event in the future? I think it's something to do with the Fight One Beyond. Oh yeah! I think they did up in the Fight One Beyond. Huh. Kind of. Yeah, they did up in Doom the Clock. I'll do that. That turns out. Yeah, it's back on Netflix. That is true. Working on Rebalance Human Generation. I mandated on DC with that. Damn, that sucks.
Anyway, I gotta let you go. I'll see you later. All right, man.
Yeah, wait, I need to go my final thoughts. Final thought on Mo Did you doing top motivate hole? Oh, yeah, he's gone. And thank you for joining us for our video on Mo Did you doing too much multiverse. Stay tuned for my next gun on maybe more animation in the future. Thank you for joining me. Thank you at the Ryan. Thank you at the Natty. Thank you Pika, and thank you everybody for joining me. And thank you David for joining me. Thank you Sanctum. 10% comics and join me and I hope you got a good then make sure you join me as well. You help me out and I hope you got a great day and take care. Yeah, no, I'm gonna call here. I'm gonna end over here. Oh yeah, junior card 20. Yeah, that's true. You're right about that. I hope that doesn't have any future. Okay, now yeah, you join next stream. Yep, and I'm gonna call here and get to lunch. You can join me and take care. I thought more doing some multiverse. We'll see that in the future. This is a probably the right thing. Join us and take care. See you. Thank you. We're about Angel. I think you join me and take care. See ya. Bye. Oh. Did I better turn on more for? Oh, yeah. I think we were talking about the mall for not mall for but whatever. And take care. See ya. Bye. Later. Please subscribe my channel. Please subscribe to Edgar channel. I was bound you. And take care. See ya. Bye.